Beating the Addiction to the Narcissist. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. When you have been ensnared by a narcissist, you face two battles. There is the battle without, which is escaping the narcissist and staying away from the narcissist. You are a possession of the narcissist. Subconsciously, the narcissist regards you as an object which belongs to that narcissist, and that the narcissist has an inalienable right to pick you up and put you down, to interact with you as the narcissist sees fit. Even though you might not be in a relationship any longer with the narcissist, that's irrelevant. From the narcissist's perspective, they won't recognize the boundary that arises as a consequence of the end of a relationship. They will continue to hoover you where need arises in order to assert control over you, to draw fuel from you, perhaps to obtain a residual benefit. They won't stay away from you because you keep coming up on the radar, and because they have no boundary recognition and a sense of entitlement, allied with an absence of emotional empathy. In order to pursue the prime aims, the narcissism dictates that hoovering you is important, and that it must take place. Thus, you face that battle without, as you seek to keep the narcissist away from you. And my extensive works provide you with the tools through the no-contact regime for you to do that. There are my excellent books, No Contact and Exorcism, along with Getting Out, which provide you with the information to assist you in preparing to depart from the narcissist, and then what you should do as part of your no-contact regime, and what you should expect by way of the response of the narcissist. Exorcism is all about purging the narcissist from your life so that you are able to move forward. That is part of the battle within, which arguably is actually the hardest battle. The fact is that whilst the narcissist will invariably hoover you, and the extent of that hoovering very much depends upon the type of narcissist you're dealing with, what else is going on in their fuel matrix, and most of all, the extent to which you keep appearing on the narcissist's radar, it is the battle within, whereby you feel that need to continue to have some form of involvement with the narcissist. You may say to yourself, this is ridiculous. Why do I want to continue to have an involvement with someone that has been abusing me? But there are many reasons. For some, it is not wanting to give up on the relationship. For others, it's the fear that the narcissist will meet somebody else and somehow that person will crack the code so that they will be happy ever after, that they will get the glory of the golden period permanently, and you want that. There is a lamentation of what has been lost, that oh so addictive golden period that you want to get back. You want those days at the beginning of the relationship. There is the sense of avoiding failure, that you have taken vows and you want to stick by them, that you deem that you must fight to keep the relationship and to get it back on an even keel. In some instances, the involvement continues as a consequence of a desire to want to help the narcissist, to point out their shortcomings and why they behave as they do. Behaving as the truth seeker that you are, so that you tell the narcissist, I know what you are, and I know why you behave this way. I'm not judging you, but I want you to understand so that we can do something about it. That you want to fix the narcissist, not recognizing that that's a completely futile task. In other instances, the continuances perhaps might be because you're concerned about what the future holds for you, worried about where you'll live, worried about money, and therefore you end up staying. Commonly, the presence of children cause people not to remove themselves from the abusive relationship, or that the existence of children means that there is an ongoing connection that you fail to manage appropriately. My assistance package, How to Co-Parent with a Narcissist, provides you with much needed tips in that regard to make it far less arduous than it would appear. In some instances, the continuation occurs because of your desire for justice, a burning desire to expose the narcissist's behaviour to friends and family and even perhaps to the world at large, a desire for a form of revenge, a desire to see that the narcissist suffers a comeuppance. a morbid and macabre interest in the ongoing nature and world of the narcissist, as you want to see their job founder, their new relationship burned to the ground, that you want to see them suffer because they deserve it for the way that they have treated you. All of this defies logic, because logic dictates that when you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, you ought to obey the first golden rule of freedom, which is once you know, you go. You should get out and you stay out. But there's something that's stopping you. And whilst the narcissist may be trying to stop that, there's also your addiction. A fundamental reason why people fail to leave the narcissist, or where they do, but they continue to allow the narcissist back into their life, is as a consequence of the presence of the addiction. For an empathic victim, the addiction sits at the heart of you. It is like its own creature that sits there saying, "Feed me." That addiction is fed in a number of ways, and its job is to cause you to feed it. It cares not about your physical health. It cares not about your sexual health. It's not interested in your mental well-being or the state of your bank balance. All that addiction wants is to be fed, and it is fed by you interacting in one form or another with a narcissist, the narcissist, any narcissists. It is this addiction which drives you to continue to involve yourself with an abuser when logic says you should have left them far behind. It is this addiction that causes you to fail to see the red flags even though you know about narcissism when you enter into a new relationship. It is this addiction which causes you to believe that it is appropriate to try and expose the narcissist, to go upon a crusade warning people about this person's behaviour, telling family and friends on both sides, warning the new intimate partners of the narcissist, even though it portrays you as a crazy person. The addiction is the absence of logic, and all it wants you to do is to feed it by continuing to involve yourself with the narcissist. It is powerful, and invariably, at the point of seeking to escape or when you have been disengaged from by the narcissist, your emotional thinking, caused by the addiction, is off the scale. It is powerful. Logic is confined to the corner. If they were prize fighters, your emotional thinking is buffed and ripped, it has been down the gym every single day, it is well rested and well fed. By contrast, your logic has a beer belly and a broken leg, out of condition and unable to get in first. Each action, each thought is governed by emotional thinking, and you need to understand the power of this addiction and, just as importantly, what you can do in relation to this addiction. You must understand that as an empathic victim of a narcissist, the thing that is stopping you from making the progress you need to make, from stopping you getting the freedom that you richly deserve, is not only the narcissist attempting to keep a hold on you, but also the enemy within, the fifth columnist, which is your addiction. By understanding its presence, which many people do not, you will then be on the path to doing something about it. In order to equip yourself with the right information to understand what this addiction is, where it comes from, what it does, and what you can do about it, you need to access key principles and information that addresses those three aspects. Whilst much is written and said about the behaviours of the narcissist and how the narcissist manipulates you and how the narcissist seeks to control you, all of which is very important, less is stated about why you struggle to get away and stay away from the narcissist. That is information that you won't find anywhere else. And what you need is that inside information about what you are and why you have an addiction and how it affects you. You need to understand what the foundation of your addiction to the narcissist is, where it comes from, and how it exists, because by understanding where it comes from, you can then be organised to do something about it. You need to understand how your addiction operates through the process of emotional thinking, what that actually is, what it does, and why it amounts to the enemy within. You then need highly effective practical advice so that you can then tackle this emotional thinking, so that you avoid damaging your no-contact regime, and that you can enable yourself to stay away from the narcissist and remove those unwanted emotions in relation to the narcissist. In order to ensure that you have the maximum chance of dealing with your addiction, what you need to do in order to beat the addiction is to utilize the Addiction Triple Package. This is comprehensive material that I have put together that deals with the 3 parts that I've just mentioned. Hundreds of people have accessed this material and applied it with huge success. It has been the key to not only understanding themselves, but understanding of what they can do so that they can seize the power, so that they are then able to remove those horrible feelings of anger, of jealousy, of uncertainty, of anxiety, of fear that are associated with the relationship with the narcissist. It brings you perspective. It brings you the assistance and help that you require. If you want to beat your addiction to the narcissist, if you find yourself bemoaning the fact that you can't seem to move forward, if you find yourself frightened and upset and anxious about the return of the narcissist, your inability to stay away from the narcissist, the fact that the narcissist somehow seems still be able to have some form of hold over you, you must obtain the Addiction Triple Package. This fantastic information has been put together at a much reduced cost, and you'll find details of that within the link in the video description, which will enable you to access this. If there is one thing that you must obtain to help you escape the narcissist, it is understanding that you have an addiction to the narcissist, and you owe it to yourself to equip yourself with the right tools to do something about it. Do not hesitate. Beat the addiction. Utilize the triple package. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.